Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Deadlifts, Dogs, and Dad Jokes. I'm your host, Demarco. Got my co-host, Mr. Eric, here. And I've actually got a special guest. I've got Vivi here hanging out just below the screen. She is hanging out with me today. So she's rocking and rolling. And I'm going to try to keep her entertained so that we can keep this flowing. But we may have a little bit of chaos here, but we're gonna do our best. So, but we have a super special guest on today. I'm actually very pumped. She is a Beers and Bells alumni. So she was on the show back when it was Beers and Bells, the original podcast. And she's just a super badass woman. She has a beautiful baby boy named Tommy, who I believe is about 8 or 9 months old. We're gonna obviously talk about that. She was a Massachusetts state record holder in the deadlift. She was a fitness manager at the Boston Sports Clubs in Davis. That's actually how I met her. She interviewed me for the job there, and then I ended up going over to Wellington with Eric here. And then she transitioned into running her own fitness business, and then transitioned into fitness business coaching. So she's got a lot of experience in the field and has done a lot of really cool stuff. So we are super pumped to talk to her, and let's have some fun.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. How's Tommy doing?
He is doing really well. He's almost 9 months. 3 days. 3 days he'll be 9 months.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
He is showing quite the personality right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hi, baby.
Yep.
Hi.
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah, I kicked my husband out of the room with Tommy so I could have some downtime to myself.
Here we go. Hey, it's important. It is important. It's we do love our kids, but they are a lot of work. No offense, honey.
Yeah, no offense, Vivi. So he's showing his personality so much. If I'm holding him and he doesn't want to be held, or he sees something that he really wants, he'll start wrestling me for it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm pinning him down on the changing table now. I'm don't do that.
Oh yeah. Is he rolling over?
Oh my god, yeah. He's rolling over, crawling. I feel like he truly is my son. He's so mobile, so active. And I'm just running around after him all day. So it's benefit for both of us, really.
Oh, I know. Well, it's funny how when they get really mobile and really strong, on the one hand, especially as coaches, we're like, man, that's really cool. Look at them develop and learn how to move and everything. It's awesome. And it's also oh shit, it's gonna be a lot harder to keep track of you now. And I gotta
I know. Oh my god.
Get my extra cardio in chasing you down.
Yeah, no shit. It's some days I don't, we take the dog out for walks here and there, but some days we just take him into the backyard and we don't really walk that much. I'll check my Fitbit at the end of the night and I did miles worth of walking across my apartment.
Oh, I believe
this is amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Laura, I want to thank you so much for being on the show again. You are one of only two people that are returning guests. So you are in a category of guests. So we already did a quick
intro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, cool.
Did a quick intro on you, let everybody know kind of your highlight reel. It basically covered a lot of the stuff that we talked about during the last episode. And just to let you know, my co-host Eric was a coach with me at the Boston Sports Clubs at Wellington. So
gotcha. Okay. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met before.
Yeah, I don't think we've met either. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Demarco introed you and mentioned me, but obviously you didn't hear that part because it's before you came on. So welcome. Thanks for coming on. Have you watched any of the episodes? I know you were on the Beers and Bells. Did you watch any of the latest episodes?
No, I haven't.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. So Demarco told me a lot about you. It's because I was at BSC and you were there as well. You were at Davis, right? Were you at Davis?
I was Davis and Boylston in 2015-ish.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was there. Yep.
I was there. I was in BSC Woburn for a while, and then I went from BSC Woburn to BSC Wellington for a while as well. I taught the Gronk classes, so I was doing that for a while. And that's where I met Demarco. And that's kind of they were doing the Beers and Bells. I think it was during the pandemic, Demarco, right? You guys kind of started that.
Yeah, we started. I think it was the early summer. So it was after. We were still in the midst of that first shutdown. So
and I was, I used to be with that crew all the time. So I was listening to the episodes, and they got me on an episode. So it kind of just came into fruition to just kind of get on, and be a co-host, really, because every week we've been consistently getting guests on recently, and we did a bunch of episodes prior to that too. But yeah, it was I don't know if again, you said you haven't really watched a lot of the newer episodes, but we've been pretty consistent weekly, or at least trying to. So continue to try to educate and, get a lot of good guests on. So again,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about where you started. I know nothing about you. So
here we go.
Yeah. So what brought you here? As far as
update your CV, Laura.
Oh my God.
You can give us the Cliff Note version. It doesn't have to be.
I'm not. I'm like, I've done too many things at this rate to like go into too much depth with anything, and that's where I overwhelm myself. I'm like, I got old somehow. Like over the years, I've done too much, I think. But so I grew up in Connecticut. I
Wait, what part of Connecticut?
I'm from Berlin.
I'm from Wallingford.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family's still in Berlin, Newington, not New Britain anymore. Cheshire, Middletown.
Yeah, I used to live I used to live very close to Cheshire. So that's amazing.
Small world. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's how I grew up. Like it was, suburbs, small town. Yep. Everyone, at least in my town, were, roughly like middle class. It was like a big white town, not much diversity, and everybody kind of knew each other. And I think that actually was a downfall for me, because I'm learned to be like kind of an extrovert, but I'm also very introverted and very shy naturally. So I think being with the same people all the time and everybody knowing like the ins and outs of you, kind of shut me down a little bit more. So I wasn't like super outgoing. I wasn't extroverted. I was, afraid to speak my mind. I was afraid to like get myself out there. And I was like, what if everybody's going to judge me? They're going to remember this 5 years from now when we're, in high school, college, reunions, whatever. So that's, more or less how I grew up. I grew up overweight also, a little bit overweight. I played softball. I was still very athletic. I was very strong, but I hated working out. And I went to UConn. I have a degree in kinesiology, and I literally just chose it because it sounded interesting in like the course catalog that I was reading through. I was like, oh, cool. Like I like science. I like learning about the body. I don't like working out, but like it seems like an interesting thing to learn about. Yep. And then throughout college, as I grew into my major, as I met more people and I started going to the weight room, I realized like how much I actually really like strength training. How it just like changed my day-to-day life. This is where like I think everything kind of comes full circle with my career. It literally changed my day-to-day life. Like I felt more confident doing activities. I felt like I could keep up with other people. I felt like I had, one of my pivotal moments was being on a jetty in the beach, like the rocks that, outstretched into the water. The year prior to working out, I, had no balance on them. I was nervous walking across these rocks, like nervous I was going to slip and fall and hit myself, hurt myself. And then I started working out, and the next year I walked across that jetty and I like didn't even think about it. And in my head, it's like, that's when it clicked for me. I'm like, oh, this is what people actually need in their lives. They need to feel confident in just their day-to-day movements. And then, I graduated from college. I moved to Boston, and that's where I think my true personality came out, because I wasn't in such a small town anymore. I was meeting people all over the place. I worked at a bunch of different gyms. Like I was a one-on-one trainer. I was a small group trainer. I was a group X instructor. I was a assistant fitness manager. I was a fitness manager, and then opened up my own business. So, my whole motto throughout all of that was just to make people feel like comfortable, confident, strong in the gym, and to really, make a positive impact in their entire life, and not just in that, hour or so that I was working with them.
I like what you said. Yeah, all that stuff, especially like when you first start out in the industry, even before that, a lot of times like people say similar situations where they might have been, grew up in a small area, or they could, they were maybe shy when they first started their, in the industry. And even I've learned too. Currently I'm a personal trainer at Lifetime in Burlington.
I just signed up for the one in Chestnut Hill.
Oh wow!
Awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So for even like I've always been a people person. I definitely have had that quality, but even more so, like you got to be a little bit extroverted, almost like in a way, especially when you're on when you're on the fitness floor, because you can't you can't be like shying away from talking to people and things like that, because that's our job. So it's one of those things where I think the kind of like you said, you started off when you were, in the beginning, it was like you were just figuring it out or trying to figure it out. And then you kind of came out of your shell more or less.
Right.
So it takes time to build that. And I think a lot of people say, and actually even Demarco, Tony Genacor said, he's very introverted a lot of times too. And he said it took him a while to kind of build that and be able to feel confident and comfortable around people and stuff like that. So it does take a lot of time, but that's a great story. I think you have a good situation as far as now. And so you shifted to your own business now. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. So I was working at Davis Square BSC.
Yep.
I was a fitness manager, and I was this is what 2000. Oh my God, I don't even remember years anymore. 2019, I started thinking like, I don't want this to be my long term. I'm working basically 7 days a week between calls, emails, texts. I was working, at 6 a.m. I was working at 10 p.m. again with those calls and text messages. Like that club was, my life basically. And that's what the expectation was. So, like I understood it, but I was really thinking like big picture. What do I want for my life? This is not it. I want to be, I got married. I want to be with my husband. We had a dog. I want to be with my dog. And then, I was thinking long term, like I want to eventually have kids. I'm not going to be able to sustain this having a child.
Right.
So I went down to one-on-one training there. I was like, I'm just gonna like start to like ease my way out of management and out of this, extra stress in my life that I didn't need. So I became a one-on-one trainer, and then in the back of my head, I kept saying like, if I get pregnant, if I have a baby, like I'm same thing, not going to be able to do this kind of workload, not like feasibly at least. And I'm not going to like be able to spend, the time with my family that I really want to.
Yeah.
So same thing in the back of my head. I was like really trying to plan my own online business. And February 2020, I got my first online client. It was, a current client's sister, actually, who I live in Boston. She lives in New York. So it was my first like really time learning how to do the online world and how to navigate like, coaching somebody that lives in a different state and not seeing their face all the time. And then obviously COVID hit March 2020. So 1 month after I like started my business, I kind of got like thrown into it. And the more the reopening of the gyms got extended, the more I became convinced that this is actually going to be, a long-term thing for me, and I'm ready to do this now. It gave me some extra time to build up a client base and extra time to gain the confidence in it. That's, I think, really the hardest part of, having your own business is like really gaining the confidence to say like, I can do this. I know how to do my job. I know how to work with people. I can market on social media. It's not my favorite thing necessarily, but I can do it. And then here we are now. Yeah, I built up my own online training business. I do a mix of Zoom sessions, again, online programming. I have a group program. And then recently I started transitioning into teaching new trainers how to actually become good trainers. So that's still a new venture of mine. So I'm still in the very beginning stages of that. But that's where I figured I have all this experience. I have all this knowledge. I don't know, like I know more than just about like squats and push-ups. I want to be able to like share a different part of my brain with the world and really, again, make that impact to, again, teach people how to like, build up their career early on and not take 10 years to learn how to become a little bit more extroverted and learn how to stand their ground and learn how to, create boundaries and maintain a business while actually living, their life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want to take over too much. I know, Demarco, I'll have you ask this question, but out of curiosity too. So, you're being that you were fitness managing, now you're doing business coaching. What's been the biggest, we'll say differences, I guess, more or less?
Yeah. I think the main thing is working as a fitness manager for Boston Sports Club. And it would be for the same for any gym, really. Like you're focused on revenue goals. That's literally all that matters. Like when you're a fitness manager, I luckily, like I had to do my job obviously, but I'm also a people person. Like I cared about my employees so much and making sure that their mental health was number one priority. But at a certain point in time, like you need to work X amount of sessions to make X amount of money. And you get clients, when the gyms are actually busy. So it might be at 6 a.m, it might be at 6 p.m. I did split shifts too. Like I did mornings, evenings, I think 2 days a week. I worked on Saturdays. So now transitioning into, teaching others how to actually create their own business, there's so much more flexibility and room for flexibility in doing so. And that's my ultimate goal, is to teach people that like, you don't have to just like confine to the schedule of the gym. You can, obviously you have to work with certain clients to be able to do certain things, but you can actually like create a business structure that you like, that works with your life, where, if you're in a situation like me, you can have a family. Like I'm basically full-time mom, but I can still work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. No, it's
good. So I'd say that's the biggest difference: flexibility and living your actual life, and not just living the life of a gym rat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marco, take it away.
Yeah, no, that was a great transition there, and I love the fact that you're constantly leveling yourself up, Laura. I think it's awesome. You're always kind of pushing things to the next level.
Thank
Like you
you.
said, you're welcome. Yeah, no, and I mean that. And again, we'll talk about this in a moment, but trying to do all this while taking care of a child and being present and trying to do a halfway decent job is another challenge all in itself.
Yeah.
You're constantly you're like a video game character leveling up, and I
Thank you.
think it's badass. I really do.
I like that analogy. And my husband and I talk about it all the time. Like, he's the same way as I am. So, you put both of us together in the same room. We talk about, 10 years from now, we're going to be like these big, names in the whole world. And we have a kid right now. Like, we both are very much like that. And we almost say it's great for us, obviously. It's almost like a detriment because we like think so much in the future and we like have so many goals for ourselves. So again, a current thing with like having my own business is like also learning how to be present and be happy with like what I actually have. And I think, changing my mindset a little bit with that has been a huge help for me in having a baby and not putting so much pressure on myself to like focus on like what I don't have yet and like what I'm trying to build on rather than, like I'm happy with what I have now. If nothing else happens with my life, I'm great, but I'm still going to take these steps to do something else. And again, like share with the world what I can offer. But I love what I do right now too.
Yeah, no, that's a great mindset to have. And I think it is I don't know if you mentioned the word, but I feel like this word always ends up in conversation when we're talking about fitness, health, and business development and taking care of families and everything, but balance, right? Like want to, we have things we're striving for, and, we have our vision for the future that we want to create. But we create that through our actions and habits today, right? So that's a big part of it. But I agree with you. You've got to enjoy the present moment and have fun. And there were plenty, like yesterday was actually an example of this. I was planning on working out. I had a specific like program of following from my coach Sean, and it was time based, and it was just me and Vivi. So I mean, my wife's out of town, and it's like it's just the two of us, and we don't have family in the area. So like our family's out.
Same here.
So it's like so I'm kind of doing my thing, and it's not happening. Like I use the kettlebell, and she comes over and starts playing with it. So instead of getting frustrated, I just say, you know what, let's just make this into a fun game. Let's just have some fun. When she crawls and goes and plays something else, I'll do some swings, and then we'll just kind of do it that way. And we had fun. It was pleasant. I wasn't angry because again, she's a freaking baby. She can't. She's developing, and she's curious, and she's learning, and she's constantly she wants to experience stuff. So so I ended up turning it into a moment of like we were playing and having fun, and she was like mimicking me, and it was cute. And, so I agree with you. We gotta have those long-term goals, but also enjoy that present moment. So
exactly.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think sometimes especially when Tommy was a little bit younger, I very much took for granted how special like these times are too. And then same thing when I like realized like time is actually flying. Like it's 6 p.m., 6:30. It's already bedtime. Like where did the day just go? That's the same thing I learned to kind of calm down a little bit more, enjoy the moments, like just enjoy like time with him, no matter what it was. Even if he interrupted my workout, who cares? Because it was like a fun time with him.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm in regards to my physical training. I've actually hit some really huge milestones. Despite the first year of parenthood, so I'm actually very proud of that.
Yeah.
And, especially with how challenging it was with scheduling and everything. And my wife works full time. She's a physician, so her hours are insane.
Oh, I was wondering actually. I meant to ask you.
Yeah. She's actually a 4th year resident right now, psych resident at a MGH. So her hours are crazy. But anyway, but as far as my business development, a lot of the stuff like my writing that I've been working on. A lot of that stuff is like, I mean, what was going to be what the things that were going to be like 2021, 22 goals are like 2022, 2023. So everything kind of pushed back, but we've had a great year, and we've made some great memories, and it's all good. It's all worth it.
Yeah,
so,
it's all worth it.
Yeah. Guys, question for both of you, because I don't have kids yet. So for the audience, give me some tips for new parents, like people just starting out with kids. What would your advice be? I know that can be a little bit
loaded question.
I'd rather know now, so I'd rather know right now.
Yeah, my husband and I actually said yesterday we signed up for lifetime with childcare. Like that's kind of the point we're at now. Like I need an hour or two to myself for the day, and
Yep.
My husband, same thing. He's gone for 24 hours at a time when he actually works. So like that to me was like a priority. But it took me like 9 months to actually get here. But we were saying on the way home yesterday, like, actually we were having this exact conversation. Like, what will we tell people that are going to become parents? And the first couple months, you actually just have to be incredibly selfless. And that's like pretty much it. Like, I tried, especially in the beginning, to like, have a balance between my business. I was breastfeeding at the time. I, had a new baby. We have a dog. The weather was nice. I wanted to work out again and like, push myself again. And it was like a huge roller coaster, basically, of like trying to do it all. And my parents, my family kept giving me that advice saying like, your job is your baby right now. And I didn't really understand that until one day I just like kind of stopped pushing myself so much. I was like, okay, this is kind of a fun job actually, but it is, you have to be very selfless. You're not sleeping. You're constantly feeding a baby. We also had to feed Tommy like every 2 hours for 2 months. So like I really didn't have like extra time. So between like feeding, a diaper change, him spitting up all over the place, like cleaning that up, cleaning my shirt, I would have to feed him all over again.
Right.
But that's it. There we go.
Thanks for that advice. I'll have to listen again when the time comes. Sure. That's funny.
Demarco, what's your advice?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best piece of advice to give, particularly for those first couple months. It's going to be chaotic. It's a lot of change. We also have a dog. So, and for us, it was actually, Vivi was born in the wintertime, so it was cold. So part of it was just kind of, we went inside and we just kind of hunkered down and got into a rhythm with her. And my lovely mother-in-law was here when Vivi was born. So she took care of our dog, Nano, and she cooked up a bunch of meals for us and froze them. And put us in a great position for those first couple months because they were very chaotic. Vivi was very colicky, and had a lot of GI issues. She was also small, and that can be, I've heard that's common for smaller babies. But yeah, no, I mean, just don't have any expectations, especially for I would say especially for the first 2 months. But honestly, we hit 6 months with when Vivi turned 6 months old. We still were inconsistent with her sleep, and a lot of our friends like 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, the babies were sleeping through the night. And we just got, we obviously got frustrated. We weren't getting mad at Vivi, but we were just getting mad. We're like, what the F are we not doing right? Like we're following doing this, we're doing that, bedtime routine. And we ended up just, I have no expectations for how the night's going to go. Anymore. I don't care how old Vivi gets. That's right. But we do do our best to kind of put ourselves in a good position and everything. But I just jokingly called it Vivi's Law. Like we have Murphy's Law, we have Vivi's Law. Vivi's Law is you can follow the schedule, you can feed her on time, you can do this, you can do that, and follow everything as best you can. But at the end of the day, this little baby girl is going to do what the hell she wants. So I guess to boil it all down, try to have as few expectations as possible because your child is your child and they're different. I mean, it's true. And the research will actually back that up. Like everyone's like, oh, everyone's different and all that. No, the research actually says we actually have no idea what the hell we're doing in regards to like sleep training and schedules because there's just so much variability with it. So be like water, like Bruce Lee says.
So you guys are telling me I need to prepare for the unknown somehow.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can prepare for it. You just have to know that that's going to happen, and then just let it all go as it happens.
You learn as you go, right?
And Laura and I both, like we said, we don't have immediate family in the area. If you have a child, you have immediate family in the area, and again, I'm assuming that you have a good relationship with them and everything good. And these are the kind of people that you want around your kids, which for us that is the case, and I'm lucky. But if they're in town and they want to help, like let them help. Let them take. If you can take even just 10 minutes to yourself to just do nothing, it's big. It's really big. So it's and sleep when the baby sleeps.
I had to do that for a while. I was trying too hard, and then it was like burning me out so badly. Definitely sleep when the baby sleeps.
So actually, I say we transition into, if it's okay with you, Eric, what would be, and Laura and I can also talk about this, obviously, what would be the fitness tips tips for like training and fitness and trying to maintain your health, particularly in the first year.
That was my next question, DeMarco.
What's that?
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question.
I'm sorry, buddy.
So yeah, that's also a loaded question. I think and it's so individualized based on the person. Like are we talking? Oh, okay. I'll go into two separate aspects of it, right? Like the family aspect of it, and then the postpartum new mom aspect. Family aspect, I think everyone's affected by or impacted by the schedule. I don't want to say affected, like in such a bad term, but my husband, he also like wasn't working out the way he normally does. Like he and I both went to the gym 5 days a week. Like we were, pretty like serious with it, but he didn't have the capacity to work out as much as he wanted to either. So from a family standpoint, I would say like just make it a family event as best you can. Like he was home luckily with me for a couple months. He had a great paternity leave.
That's great.
But we ended up just doing family workouts, so we can each like again have zero expectation of what was going to happen for the workouts. We were both doing something at the same time, so if the rest of the day kind of went askew, we both got our workout in, or our workout, whatever it ended up being. We both got movement in. And we made it like a dance party for us. We put Tommy in the swing, the pack and play, like whatever he was in at the time. And we would like go up to him between, our sets, like, sing in his face, dance in his face, like move his hands around. We would do our sets, go back to Tommy, do our thing. We have a, huge dog also. So he likes to get involved in our workouts. So we really just made it like a party for the hour, and whatever workout we got out of it, great. And then we also learned to, very much balance, like, hey, like my husband looks like he's in a really intense set right now. I'm going to be the one to take a step back, have some fun with the kids. The dog is also a kid, have some fun with the kids, and vice versa. He knew if I was like in the middle of a circuit, he would do the same for me. So that's family aspect. Postpartum aspect. Here's like the real hard stuff. Like I luckily had a pretty easy pregnancy. I will attribute to like doing a lot of stuff during pregnancy to help me have an easy postpartum life. But basically, like, your whole body has changed. You are supposed to, rest basically for 6 weeks. However, you have a newborn baby, so you're constantly picking up a baby. Again, we have a big dog. Like, I had to push him away from the baby. So, like, that took TMI for everybody here. Like, pushing that dog away from the baby, like, made me pee my pants sometimes. Like, that's how bad it was. So I would, get them separated, and then I would have to go take a shower. And that was just life for a little while. But I will say, yeah, definitely move when you can, practice, and really just go easy on yourself. Like, basically pick up where you left off at the end of pregnancy. If you were doing some squats, you were doing some lunges, you were doing some push-ups or some stuff with weights, do that. Like, and start with that. And then, from my experience, the sleep deprivation really kicked in a couple like months after, and with sleep regressions, everything. That kicked in a couple months after Tommy was born. So like I thought I was actually going on a really good track. I was doing everything I was supposed to. I was going back to the gym. I was really starting to train, how I wanted to again. And then all of a sudden I wasn't sleeping all over again. We went from maybe like 4 to 5 hours of a stretch at a time to like 2 hours of stretch at a time. And again, I was still breastfeeding at the time. So basically I was, up in the middle of the night 2 to 3 times, not sleeping at all. And I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I was exhausted. I also didn't want to eat well because, I was exhausted, and who wants to eat vegetables when all I want to eat is pizza, and just like, like cave into that like feeling of, no energy, just making life, easy, a little more fun for yourself. So that would be it also with the sleep deprivation. Go easy on yourself. Do some movement, do what you can, but you don't have to have a whole workout structure to it. Really just kind of maintain movement, and now reflecting on it, wait until you're actually sleeping to try to push yourself into like a proper training program. Now that we actually luckily are sleeping again, I've been, I think, pretty consistent with my workouts, at least, and in like a program or routine since I say the beginning of December. So that was like Tommy was about 7 months then. It took me basically until then to be able to get back to like the routine that I actually wanted to. And then again, you're not in as good of shape. So I had to start that off like pretty low key. And, 2 months later, I'm finally comfortable ramping it up again. But Kegels is number one. So you're not like, well, you still might pee your pants anyways, but you don't want to do it excessively. So do a ton of Kegels, learn how to connect your core and your pelvic floor, because that ultimately is, I think what got me back to the gym and back to working out that much faster. I practiced it basically from, maybe month 4 of pregnancy, when I actually did notice like some differences happening in my body. And I still practice it now. So that's something you're just going to have to do your entire time, or your entire, pregnancy, postpartum life. And it might, for all I know, it might be for the rest of my life even, or if I have different, more kids, it's going to be the same thing, like Kegels and core work. And then my other big suggestion for people is really focus on doing core exercises and upper back exercises. So as your body is changing, your boobs get bigger, your stomach gets bigger, it puts a ton of pressure on your back. And when I started noticing I was having more back pain, at least, or more discomfort, that's when I started implementing a ton of back work between rows, reverse flies, pull downs of some sort, and then core work. You can still do core work when you're pregnant. And that's where, again, like core work and pelvic floor engagement, like learning how to connect those two, and then doing core exercises properly. This is such a big yawn. But learning how to do all this properly really set me up for success with, I didn't have any back pain throughout all of my pregnancy, postpartum life. Same thing, you're holding a baby, you're rounded at your shoulders, like it's not comfortable. So continue that, postpartum life, and you're probably going to do pretty well for yourself. Okay, those are my big suggestions. Take it easy on yourself, core work, pelvic floor, upper back work, and adjust it around sleep deprivation.
Those are good points. I was actually going to tell you to give us some takeaways, and you took it right out of my mouth. So that's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I talk a lot, but I like to sum things up too.
Oh, that was awesome. I was going to ask the question, then you took it away. That was great. So transitioning a little bit to the programs that you offer, the hybrid coaching programs you offer.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm, that's where, my business aspect comes into play. So I have my one-on-one training, either Zoom sessions or strength or online programming, excuse me. And then I have my group program. So it's hard to explain it all, right? So Zoom sessions, online programming, group online program. My online programming, I typically take clients that are looking for, strength work with a high intensity component, hence the hybrid strength. I think it is also important to focus on different areas of strength and different areas of fitness, and, how it trickles into your daily life, hence, hybrid strength. So that's how I like to do one-on-one coaching. However, I'm also very adaptive to others. And if, high intensity isn't where you're at right now, but maybe it's like a long-term thing, or if it's nothing you want to do at all, I'll still work with a client and we kind of develop a great strength routine based off of where they're currently at, what equipment they actually have available to them, what their goals are, and really just like I said earlier in this episode, I just want to make it fun for people. My goal is to make exercise something that people want to do, and not something that they actually dread doing and feel like it's a chore to do. So that's one-on-one. And then the hybrid strength team is my group program. And that is, I call it my bread and butter. I love this program so much. It's basically, taking that same concept. It's a strength training program with the high intensity components. People get that program delivered through my app. It's a group, and there's a discussion board so everybody can, chat through the discussion board if they want to participate in that. And then I have workshops or events that go along with it from other coaches every single month. So I provide the workout program, and then we have a nutrition coach. She'll do a workshop once a month. She did a smoothie one last month. She did mindful eating the month before. We have a skincare consultant who will offer free trivia for participants. We'll offer free gifts or discounts for them. And we have a habit change coach who's also done workshops, and she did Surviving the Holidays. It was a very, very good one. So she did Surviving the Holidays recently. What else? We have a Pilates instructor as well. That's our last one. So she's offered, live classes. And these are all included in the group program. So you get a whole workout program. You get all these events for $50 for the month.
Wow. Very diverse.
Yeah. So it's, even if you don't want to participate in all of it, you get a couple pieces, and it's still, really good bang for your buck. And very diverse. And these are all, people like me. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all people that really want to make a good impact in the world, and really, influence people's lives in such a positive way with what our specialty is.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
You're selling us right now on it.
Hey, if you join, or even I offer free trials.
I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I say, and I offer free trials for people too if you want to test it out for a little while. There's discounts available. So I really am doing this again. Like I have my full-time clients. I love it. This is like an added bonus for me that I get to do this. So if there's ever people interested in it, just send them my way and I'll make it work for them so they can test it out and see what it's like.
Where can people find you? Where's your
links? My Instagram is at laura.e.mahoney.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Laura Mahoney Fitness at gmail.com is the email I use regularly. So those are my big ones right now.
Anything to add, Demarco?
No, that we hit all the main ones. I guess I have just one last question before we go into our lightning round. Which is fun, by the way. Don't worry, it's a fun.
Okay. My introverted self just got really nervous.
Zero pressure. It's fun, and it's a this or that, not a right versus wrong. So
gotcha.
Just let you know. But I guess my main one, and I love going deep. I just love asking deep questions because that's the stuff that I want to get into more with people, particularly with podcasts. How has becoming a mother changed your life in regards to like just you as a person, but also like as a coach and how you view the world?
Yeah, that I like the deep questions also. That's what I was where I thrive off of conversations with people and building relationships with people. Becoming a mom, fun fact, like never saw myself as, I call it like a stereotypical mom, and like no offense to anybody else, like I never saw myself as a stereotypical mom. Like I thought I was going to be back to work full time in 2 weeks after having him. Like I was ready to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, it takes time. I don't know if you experience this either. Like it takes time to develop a relationship with them. Like, yes, he was my baby from the start, but as he got more personality, I grew more attached to him.
Big time.
So I think over time as he was getting old, as he is getting older, that's where I really started to see like the importance of, being present with him and having that balance in my life. And like, I also just love having fun with him. Like I shoot the shit with him, or sorry, maybe and audience members for swearing. We like just hang out for like hours every single day. Like, and then I work sometimes during his nap and, I made it work for myself, but I genuinely love spending time with him and my dog. And if and when my husband's available and around, like we are such family people and we have such an appreciation for our family that to me has, we've always had that, but it changed tenfold with having Tommy.
Yeah.
I said I like didn't see myself as a stereotypical mom, and now I do. I'm like, I don't want to leave him. Like I'll drop him off at the childcare at the gym, and I'm like so excited to see him after that 1 hour of being gone. I don't have like full attachment issues, but it's just like that's how much like fun I have with him and positivity I have with him. So that changed me from my perspective. Like there are so many things that I thought were priorities in my life that just aren't anymore. And then from a business standpoint, that's where I really started making a pivot into like more business coaching, and where I really started to want to influence other trainers and help them, is because like I did all this work for I started my business 9 years after being a coach. I did all that work. I did all the hard work for myself to like learn how to be an effective coach, learn how to even have the personality and the mindset to coach, learning how to be selfless during coaching sessions, because it's not about you. It is about those other people. So if you're doing 5 hours straight, you don't like really get to focus on you at all. So I did all that work. And, when I had Tommy and when my training had to be pushed aside for a little while, when I physically couldn't do all the things I loved anymore. Like I love high intensity work. I love heavy lifting. When I didn't have the time or I didn't have the physical capabilities to do that, nor the time to do all that, or like really get myself back into gear the way I wanted to. It really forced me to take some time to think about what else was in my brain. Like I'm more than just squats. I'm more than just workout plans. I'm more than just teaching people how to adjust their hips and adjust their shoulder blades, which I think is, important. It's great. I love that aspect of me. But then I really tapped into a different side of my brain that I hadn't seen in a while. And that was influencing people from a business standpoint. That's what I did as a fitness manager, and I hadn't even thought of that since basically I left management.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gave me the time and the perspective to change the world here. Like, I wanted to change the world and impact people in a different way and impact more people and be a positive influence for others. But yes, so I had more time to actually think about that, and I stopped, I thought about it and changed my perspective a little bit, and here I am. I decided I wanted to branch out and do something a little bit different with my life.
Amen to that.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Fun. Mm-hmm.
Is it lightning round?
Lightning round time. Let's do it.
Seems like it.
Are you? Sorry. Well, first question: are you into sports?
Playing them or watching them?
Either. Well, either. I was going to ask you.
I'm not. Oh yes, I like sports. Yes.
Oh yeah. I was going to ask you. Who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the final score is going to be?
Oh shoot! I think the Rams are going to win. I don't want them to win. No offense to them. I just really don't like that team this year. Yeah. Score. God, I didn't even think about that. I have to do the math out right now. Getting the correct. I think it'll be 30-something to the teens.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Marco?
Yeah. Or do you like Star Wars? Are you a Star Wars fan?
Not so much.
That's okay. We'll skip.
Okay.
This one. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh goodness gracious!
Favorite question, DeMarco.
Yeah, no, I like this one. I think so. Based off of my personality that you all learned just now, I like helping people. I wish I could be in multiple places at once to be able to create more of an impact in a shorter amount of time.
Awesome.
If you were on a deserted island and you can only pick one piece of equipment, what would it be to bring with you?
I was going to say my son. My husband could stay here. I'm taking my son with me.
This is for exercise. That's true.
That's not equipment. He's really good. He's a good way to do squats with.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never thought I would say this in my life, but I would take a resistance band with me. No.
Nice.
Yep.
Vivi thinks that's a very hot take.
Thanks, Vivi.
Yeah.
It's very versatile and easy to carry around.
Yeah, it's not a bad answer.
That is true. Yeah, you could use a band for a lot of stuff too. Although I will say, if you did take Tommy, you could be like Milo. The old what was the Greek or the Roman tale of the guy that carried the calf around.
That's yeah. I mean, I do think about that. I hold him. We do presses. We do everything.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things about at-home workouts and having a baby. I did a lot of at-home workouts, and we have 2 dumbbells, and that's it. So I use bands and body weight for a lot of things.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, that's really good. So to kind of piggyback off of Eric's question, if you could choose only one exercise for yourself, that is for your own training, one exercise to do forever, what would it be?
You only have to choose one.
I know.
I
tell you what, 2. Give me 2.
Oh gosh. All right, that's choose. Okay. So let's just say I feel like I'm on a deserted island. So if I'm not, then it's okay. I want to do a plyo of some sort. So I'm thinking like box jump or broad jump because you want to be fast on a deserted island, and then pull-ups. You have to, you never know when you're gonna have to scramble and climb trees and use your actual body.
Heck yeah.
There we go. Thanks for the 2.
You're welcome.
What is one book you'd recommend to others?
I forgot about this book until recently. It's called, I believe it's just called Mindset. I'll have to get the author's name. It's Deck, I want to think is author. It's something, Dr. something Deck, I believe.
Okay.
It was an amazing book. Oh, and You Are a Badass. Sorry, I like to do 2 things for things. I don't like to decide. For the mindset one, it's all about really changing your mindset in order to see yourself and what's important in your life, and how to stand your ground with it, how to be a badass. Same concept. That book is actually the one that years ago made me really think about like what I want to do with my life, and I started making some big life decisions from then on out.
That's really cool, man. I love that. Yeah, I've seen How to Be a Badass because that title definitely stands out. It keeps popping up on as a recommended read on my Audible account. So next time I get another credit, I may have to get it.
It is good. Yeah, she's the same thing. Like, live your life and don't be shy about making decisions for yourself.
That's awesome. Well, Vivi, you heard that. Let that be your guiding principle.
Yes, you definitely listen to that movie. Start young.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite things about working out, training, and doing this podcast is whether directly or indirectly, Vivi gets to hear and see a lot of this really cool stuff. So it's exciting. And I especially love when there's female guests on because it's setting a great example for her. So
I'm happy to be here for her. And so normally Tommy joins me for all my training sessions too. So he gets to learn how to be. I keep calling him the world's next best trainer.
That's awesome. Hey, I love it.
They get the influence of it. It's such a positive thing for them.
Yeah, and they mimic you too. Like, I don't know if this has happened with you and Tommy yet, but Vivi now, when she sees a kettlebell, she'll crawl to it and she'll because now she can stand up on her own. So you pull up and stand, and she'll. I don't want to stand up and demonstrate this because it'll look weird. But basically, she'll start rocking her hips back and forth and breathing heavy.
No way.
Like she's either gonna, I guess, deadlift or swing it. So it's really cute. So
I'm looking forward to that one.
Watch it. Yeah.
We're not there yet, but we're probably pretty close.
It's gonna blow you away. They're always watching, and they especially when you think they're not watching, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we will stick with the two because I kind of like the idea of the twos. What are your two favorite movies of all time?
Ooh, so good questions. Oh God, I don't really watch. Oh, I like Avengers. I'm just gonna stick with that. I like the Avengers movies.
There you go.
Yeah, they're action-packed. They're fun. There's a lot of drama in them.
That's the right action. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, that's a good one.
So it's two Avenger movies.
Oh, I don't even know the names of all the ones that I've seen.
No. You gotta pick two.
Oh yeah, two Avengers movies. Yes.
All right, there we go. Hey, that's solid. I mean, they've made 4 of them now, so you could easily pick 2. That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. They're my go-tos.
So we'll kind of piggy that to 2 favorite music artists.
Oh God, you guys! You know what's so funny? Like, you're asking all these questions, and like I'm so like work focused that like I sometimes forget that I like this stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And it's just never been like my personality, right? I like to go out and I like to work out, and that's my fun. So I'm a former rave girl, like EDC, lots of EDM shows. Yeah. I love Tiesto.
Oh yeah.
He's a really good one. And my favorite, I'll just go with this. My favorite performance that I've ever seen was Calvin Harris at EDC. It was awesome and lots of fun. Really like good hype music that you could sing along with.
Sweet. I'm excited for the Super Bowl too. I tell Demarco all the time, the halftime show, it's all like hip hop.
Yeah. I'm actually really curious to watch that.
Oh my God.
Like it's, it rewinds about like 10, 15 years or so. And
100%.
I actually can't wait to watch it. But and the Super Bowl itself, I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah. Oh, both. Yeah, the entertainment of the Super Bowl. I think The Rock's doing something for the Super Bowl too. I don't know if you know.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been hyping up something. He's been posting about something. I don't know if he's doing something pre-game. Oh, maybe you didn't know. Either pre-game or halftime. He said like he's rehearsing. He keeps saying it in his post. If you read his post, so he's rehearsing for something. I don't know if it might be nothing big. He's posting about it, so he makes it seem like it is. But
yeah, maybe Rock, I'm watching. Maybe he's going to announce his candidacy for president.
Yeah, I know.
I'm running for presidency 2024.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't doubt that actually with him.
Yeah, nothing with yeah. But he's so likable too. Like I talk about movies. I like almost all his new movies. I mean, there's not much that I don't like. Anything he touches, he does pretty well with. So
yeah, he's funny. He's really funny.
Oh yeah, and he not only is he entertaining, but he's very motivating. On Instagram, things like that. Like his posts are great. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't actually just totally continue on the Rock train. If you guys haven't seen it yet, they did a new movie last year. It was The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot, and I think it was called Red Notice. I think that was what it was called. It's really fun. It's like a heist movie, kind of action movie, and there is some romance in it, and it's a lot of twists and turns. Really, my wife and I loved it. We watched it. It was one of those I could have watched it immediately over again, and it was just fun. Just The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, just their dialogue back and forth was really funny.
Oh yeah, he's funny too, Ryan Reynolds. That actually thought he was awesome.
Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
Yeah.
So.
You said Red Notice? Red Notice, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, Red Notice. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So. But it was like a Netflix original movie. So.
What were you saying, Laura?
We watched Jungle Cruise recently. So
what was that?
Maybe a little opposite of that, but it was also really good.
Yeah.
Hey, The Rock is great with those kids movies. I mean, he's really good at
that. Was it Jumanji he was in, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was so funny in those.
Yeah. I watched the second Jumanji the other day with him in it. He's really good.
That's awesome.
He's entertaining. Demarco, you're up for a question.
Oh yeah, lightning round. Who? Oh man, I've actually expended all the ones I was going to go to. This is going to be random. This is like, you can pass on this one if
I like random.
Yeah, this is random as hell. If you could choose a weapon, not to harm anybody, but just to like have just in case.
Can I harm somebody if I want to?
1 to 3 fictional weapons from anything, from like Star Wars or the Avengers or anything. What would they be?
Oh.
Or gadgets. We'll say
I do like the lightsabers. I think that is pretty cool.
There we go.
So yeah, there's some Star Wars things that I do like. I don't even remember the name of it, nor I'm like, my memory with things is horrible. My memory to detail, at least. Is there somebody in the Avengers that has like little spiky things they throw? Maybe if you don't know it, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I have not a clue. So
okay, well that would be one thing I would like little spiky things that you just like throw like a frisbee and get what you need done.
Well, Batman has the Batarang, so I don't know.
Maybe that's closer to what I'm thinking.
Oh, speaking of Batman, we got to see the new Batman, DeMarco. We got to get a crew together.
Absolutely. That is. I'm not taking Vivi because that looks like a very dark movie. So this is. We'll wait till Vivi's older. But yes, absolutely.
Isn't the Twilight actor playing Batman?
Correct.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I saw that it popped up last night when I was watching a game, and in the commercials they had it. I was like, I don't know, like it looks really, really good. Don't be wrong, but I'm more worried about that as far as the actor playing Batman. We'll see. I mean, I think it'll be good. Yeah. What's his name? The actor from Batman or from Twilight? What's it? Do you guys know?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Pattinson. Yeah. My teenage girl self still remembers that.
Yeah. Hey, I've got 4 younger sisters, so we watch those movies.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We'll see how he transitions, though. He's probably pretty versatile, I'm guessing. But
no, I think he's a very underrated actor. I think people are starting to realize how good he is. And I saw a couple of promos with him and Matt Reeves and Zoe Saldana, and who's playing Catwoman, and looks like they're gonna have a different take on the Batman character, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks really dark. It looks really dark.
You're gonna see like a raw, like unhinged version, like an early version of Bruce Wayne, and it's I know Laura's probably like, why are we talking about this crap? No,
I like this. I like it. I like action movies like this.
Oh, good. Well, the thing here is like all the other Batman movies, you've seen the Batman and you've seen Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne's like very well polished and like suave. He's the billionaire playboy. That's not this version of Bruce Wayne. This Bruce Wayne is like very tortured, very mentally scattered, and basically what Robert Pattinson said was, at this point in Batman's career, there's no separation between Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's kind of the same person, which is good sometimes, but also not so good. So I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. So, which, by the way, there is a Batgirl in the Bat universe. So that's you could do the Batgirl weapons. So
yeah. Also, I'll watch the movie and then see.
My last question is 2 places you'd like to travel to.
This is a good question for me.
Yeah.
Recently we watched a show on Netflix that was about, traveling and different homes that you can see. Bali was on that, and I didn't necessarily think I wanted to go to Bali, but it was absolutely beautiful there. So that is one. I do want to go everywhere.
Especially after these last couple of years, right?
God, yeah, no kidding. Like my husband and I basically we got married like within a year, but we just traveled. We traveled to like 8 different places in our first year of dating right before we got married. So like I'm a travel person. So Bali, and then I've never said this before, and I don't know why it's like popping into my head right now, but Alaska.
Yeah.
I just got like a good visual of like what Alaska could be like, and I would actually like to go.
I was out there for a while. He said it was awesome.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard good things. I've never been, but very good. So.
Yeah.
Marco, last question for you.
Last question, man. I had to really dig for that one. So this one's just a fun one. What is your so far? I'm sure this is going to be an easy one to answer. But what's your favorite memory with Tommy so far?
Oh, I think there's so many.
I know it's hard, especially
two memories.
And there's so many different stages. I think
give me two.
No, it's okay. It's just when he first started smiling and like having reactions to things.
Yeah.
I very much remember it was like he was a month and a half maybe, and I was just holding him, and all of a sudden he like had like little lip curls and like a little like ooh coming out of his voice.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I like had a moment of, my son is an actual person. Like, but that's when I really started to develop that like bond with him, saying like this is my son. He's developing so much, and it was like so amazing just to watch like all those changes, and that was a huge one to me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's like it's crazy. They they're firstborn, and they're just kind of a blob for a little while. They don't really do a whole lot other than like eat and sleep. And,
I don't want to feel like a terrible mom, but like it was pretty boring. And,
no, it's true. Yeah, there's not really much activity, right? And a lot of things, right? Just getting used to the life. No, when they start developing a personality, and it happens quick, like you said, it definitely happens quick. It definitely gets really fun. So
yeah. No, that's it. She looks sleepy. Is she sleeping now?
Yeah, so it's funny. Usually we do her. So she drops the second nap early.
You were saying that, yeah.
Early, and that's okay. But yeah, she gets tired around this time. We'll do a snack and then try to keep her up till about 10, and we'll just, like I said, no expectations. We're gonna see
exactly. You do what she needs to do.
We'll see how.
But she did great this whole time. I'm impressed with that.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, there was
like Tommy would have been like all over the place, like wrestling me.
Yeah, I think probably because she's tired, that's why she's been so good. But no, I did a podcast. I was telling this to Laura the other day, Eric. I had a podcast with somebody I didn't know at all, and it's actually somebody that's pretty well known in like the martial arts and self-defense industry, and it's got a pretty sizable following online. And I was really excited to do the interview, and we did the intro and everything, and Vivi was supposed to be napping, right? Vivi's Law. And right after intro, I asked my very first question, and the guest goes on and just goes right into it. He's a pro. And Vivi starts screaming upstairs. I'm just like, oh, shoot. So I had to like cut him off awkwardly. I had to run upstairs, go grab Vivi, and like, hey, this is my daughter. She'd like to be on the show with you. I tried to play it off and be cool. And it ended up being fine, but it happens. This is way better than that. Good job.
Yeah, she did great.
Yeah, Demarco, I think we came a long way from last week.
Yes, absolutely. We sure did. Yeah. So yeah, we had some technical issues last week, so it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was smooth sailing today. This was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, Eric, do you have anything else to add?
I don't know. I'm excited to hear the dad joke, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that. Jeez, Eric, do you want to start us off with the dad joke?
Sure. So why did the football quit playing in the Super Bowl? Just like what?
Yeah. Why?
It was tired of being kicked around.
Oh, wow. Nice.
What do you got, Laura?
I didn't come prepared with one. We could look one up, Brandon. Oh wait, hold on. Shoot, I don't remember it. Yeah, go to Demarco.
Okay, go.
So This one, I'm gonna go Avenger scene with this one. So this one should be fun. Which Avenger would you want to hire as your valet?
Which?
Spider-Man. Do you know why?
No.
Because his name is Peter Parker.
Clever. Oh, I love
Or
it.
you got to top ours. We're never good at
I
this.
know. I'm like, this is, not my personality. Hold on. I'm looking up one.
Yeah, I put you on the spot. Sorry to put you on the spot. I thought Demarco had sent you that. Be ready for that.
Oh my God. So you guys watch The Office?
Yes, I love The Office.
All right. So there's the one, I think it's like Dwight is trying to stump Ryan with like a bunch of dad jokes, and Ryan just like knows all the answers to them.
Yeah.
And he's like spitting. So that's like all I'm thinking of right now. Like, what if a man and his son get in a car crash and they go to the doctor, and the doctor says they can't treat the kid? And why is that?
I don't remember the answer though.
Oh, there we go. The doctor is the boy's mom.
Oh, geez.
Not really that much of a joke, but it like kind of stumps you a little bit.
I do.
That's one of the ones that they say in The Office. What's
yeah,
that?
I sort of remember that. I watched it during quarantine or during COVID, especially when the pandemic first started and The Office was on Netflix. I watched every episode, at least with Michael Scott. When Michael Scott was there, once he left, I actually haven't watched seasons 8 and 9. Believe it or not, I watched the first 7 seasons all the way up till he left. I think I watched a little bit with Will Ferrell, and then I missed a few episodes. So I'm a little behind.
Funny. Like I actually liked the James Spade ones when Robert California.
They were good, yeah.
I heard they were really good. I actually have not watched those. Believe it or not, I stopped watching. I should get back to it. I like I said, I was so consistent for a while too.
It was definitely a little chaotic though. I think Laura will agree, because you had Robert California, Will Ferrell hopped in really quick, and then
some of the Will Ferrell ones.
Jim Carrey pops in randomly.
Oh, does he?
He does?
I didn't know that.
Very, 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 and it may have not been until the 9th season.
Maybe I missed that one.
Interview for the job. I was like, maybe the man.
No, I do remember. that.
Yeah.
Well, you see, it was the last season.
I think it was the last season, because Ricky Gervais is in that episode too. It's like him, and then a couple of other really, really big names in comedy. So
interesting.
I forgot about that. Yeah, The Office. That's. Here I am, like, I don't know artists, I don't know movies, and I don't have like a favorite to those, because literally we watch The Office.
No,
like, every night.
That's
again.
It's an easy background show too. You can just have it on.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't watch it before I met my husband, and all of a sudden, like that became our relationship. Was like traveling and watching The Office.
Yeah,
we love it. It's awesome for us, but we don't watch a lot of movies. We don't like watch a lot of like music. We don't go to a lot of shows anymore, and that's it.
I feel like our parents, they had Seinfeld. I think The Office, our Seinfeld.
I think so too.
We're like watching when we're older and looking back on the fun time, which I do also love Seinfeld, by the way. I think it's like solid.
It's also a really good show. We've been watching that somewhat recently too.
Seinfeld story. And I like it because like I don't have the TV on much with Vivi. We try to limit screen time, although I am giving her my phone right now to entertain her, so I can do this podcast.
It works really well.
We do try to do it sparingly, but I do like to put on a Seinfeld episode every once in a while in the background while we're playing, and it's funny, and it's like adult humor, but the way it's worded, it's not like vulgar, so it's funny.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Exactly. So awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for being on. I know we had to go back and forth a lot. We both have hectic schedules with our kids, and I definitely in the future, we got to get Vivi and Tommy together.
Yeah,
outside. Let's have some play dates.
Yeah, let's do it. Especially when you said you don't have family in the area, that's my immediate thought. It's like, neither do I. Like, okay, let's team up. Let's do this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
It is, yeah, and it's just nice to see people, just to, because it's like as you know, the last couple of years have been pretty hectic, and everyone has their own unique challenges. I'm not going to say that anyone has it worse than anyone else, but I do think having a small child during this time is its own unique, kind of challenge. So, it's definitely
need to get out.
Vivi can show Tommy how to do all the stuff. So
that would be awesome. Actually, let's do it.
Yeah, she can show him how it's done. So, but. Thank you so much for being on the show, Laura. Appreciate your time. I want to thank all of you so much for tuning in for another episode. And, as we always talk about, we're here to help you become your strongest self and have fun along the way. And I feel like we definitely succeeded in that, definitely gave you some good, valuable takeaways. And we will see you next time. And as always, train your body, feed your mind.